Good morning, children. Welcome back to the English class. Today we are going to continue with lesson number 10, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. I am sure everyone knows the poem very well and has done the exercises which I have told you to do. Now we continue with sounds and pronunciation. Yesterday we saw blends and digraphs. Today we are going to talk about sound words. I'd asked you to find another name for sound words, and I'm sure some of you must have found it. Yesterday in the live class, a child told me the correct word, onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is when a word describes a sound and actually mimics the sound of the object or action it refers to when it is spoken. Mimics means imitates. So onomatopoeia or onomatopoeic words is when a word describes a sound and actually imitates the sound of the object or action it refers to when it is spoken. For example, ba, buzz, hiss, crash. These are the sounds made by the sheep, the bee, the snake, and crash is when two things or two vehicles collide. The sound which comes has given us these words. The sounds they make or the sound which is there gives us these words. Now some more examples of onomatopoeia. Pop, you must have seen the popcorn popping, and the sound comes when it pops. Then splash, when something or someone jumps in water or falls in water, there's a sound produced, and the sound has given rise to the word splash. Gulp, when you gulp something. Boom, zap, click. Click is when you click photographs, not with your mobile, but in the old times you had those cameras where you had to click. Crunch, vroom, moo, pitter patter. Now pitter patter of course is used for rain. So you must know and try to find out more examples of onomatopoeia or onomatopic words. If you already know, please write them somewhere. And if you don't, you can go to the net. There are lots and lots of onomatopic words. Find them and write the ones you find interesting and which you think you can use in your writing later on. Now we have in this lesson, in the book, that is lesson number 10, it is on page number 66, right below the table where we had written words containing blends and words containing digraphs. You have exercise C3, page 66 in Real English book. I'll read you the instruction. Fill in the blanks with the correct sound words from the box. Now in the box some sound words are given and you have to fill in the blanks with the correct sound word. You cannot use any word for anything or any sound. You have to use the correct sound word. Now the words in the box are crinkle, clatter, rustle, crackle, crack, swash, clink, whir. Please look at the spelling. Whir is different from whir. So I'm going to repeat these sounds And please try to hear these sounds in your mind. And this will give you an idea about what could make this sound, and this has to be used as a word to fill in the blank. Now I'll read the list again from the box. Crinkle, clatter, rustle, crackle, crack, swash, clink, whir. Now please keep the book open in front of you and we'll take one sentence at a time. The dash of leaves. Now, what is the sound made by leaves, and especially dry leaves when they are dry? The rustle of leaves. Then the next one, the dash of wings. The whir of wings. You must have seen birds flying and the sound made by their wings when they fly. It is the whir of the wings. WHIRR. Now, when you have paper and the sound made by paper is the word crinkle. The crinkle of paper. Now, the fourth one, coins. When you count the coins or you try to put them in one place, sorry, the sound made by these coins is the clink of coins. Now we have done four. Four remain. Please take 2 minutes to fill in the blanks. Four are already done for you. So the remaining four, should use the words which remain from the box. Rustle, whir, crinkle and clink are already over. So the words which you can use in these four blanks are crackle, swash, clatter, crack. Now just think, I said I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Just think what would be the sound made by a whip. Whip in the past was used to drive animals, especially the horse, which was there in the horse carriage, or the bullock in the bullock cart. And sometimes, because in the past whip was used even to punish students and children, they used to get dash of a whip. That is, they used to hear the dash of a whip. What is the sound made by a whip? The crack of a whip. The crack of a whip. Now the dash of the sea, the sound, you must have seen the sound when the waves come and hit the shore and then go back. What could be the sound made by the sea? Try to imagine the sound in your mind. Yes, it's the swash of the sea. It is indeed the swash of the sea. Now hoofs or hooves. Horse has hooves and the hooves are the hard part of the leg of the animal. Even the cattle has hooves, and when they walk a particular sound is heard. What is the sound made by hoofs? Called the clatter of hoofs. And you all must have enjoyed campfire, bonfire, seen fire burning, and when the wood is burning, there's a sound which this burning wood produces. Now only one word is left, and which word is it? The crackle of fire. So these are special sound words which have come from the sound made by these things, and these are called sound words or onomatopic words. Now let me repeat all the answers. The dash of leaves, the rustle of leaves, the dash of wings, the whir of wings, the dash of paper, the crinkle of paper, the dash of coins, the clink of coins. Now let us go to the last four. The dash of whip, the crack of whip. Now the sound comes when the whip hits some animal or in the past some child. The sound produced when the whip hits is called the crack, or the word is crack. Then the swash of the sea, the dash of hooves, the clatter of hooves. This word is frequently used in stories, in fairy tales, and in novels. So this most of you must be knowing. And the last word is to be filled in is the crackle of fire. Now, I hope everyone has written these words in your book. You need to fill in the blanks with the correct word. If I exchange any word, if I say the crackle of hooves instead of the clatter of hooves, I'm going to get it wrong and I won't get any marks. So you have to be very careful. And as I told you, please find some extra onomatopic words which have been taken or framed from the sound these animals or these things make. It is going to be very interesting to know these words and to use them when we are writing something. Now we come to the activity section of lesson number 10. The first activity we cannot do right now in school as we all are not going to school. But it's very interesting and you can play bingo with your friends who are there near your house or with your brother, sister, parents, and you all can get together and play this game. Now, what is bingo and how to play it? You have to choose and write any 6 adjectives from the list in the bingo grid on page 67. First, you all those who are going to play bingo, the group has to get together and think of adjectives and prepare a long list of adjectives so that each one of you can then choose or select any 6 adjectives from this list and write it on the word in the word grid on page 67. There are 6 boxes and you are supposed to write 6 adjectives. Someone has to volunteer to read some adjectives from the list. You could use someone who is not playing the game, that person can read, or you could volunteer to do it one by one. So some describing words will be read at random. Check if you have the opposite of the word in one of the boxes. Now, when you are making the list of adjectives, you must be careful and write the opposite as well. So that if I write up and down, of course, this has to be the opposite, up and down. But then what you are supposed to, up and down are of course not adjectives but opposites. But suppose in adjective I write tall, then I have to write short. Fat, then I have to write thin. So I must have adjectives only and no prepositions or any other type of word. And then someone has to volunteer to read the words at random. They will not follow the order of the list. They can read any word and then they can tick it or circle it so that they know they have already read it and they don't read it twice. Now what you have to do is to see if you have the opposite of the word. For example, if that person reads moist, you have to see if you have got dry, and then you have to cross out dry. So everyone must have a pencil in hand. If that person reads beautiful, you are not going to look for beautiful. You have to see if your word grid has ugly and cross out ugly. So you have to look for the opposites and cross it out. Now the student who crosses out all 6 words in the grid shouts bingo. The student who is the first one to cross out all the 6 words shouts bingo. And this person, he or she is the winner. Now you could also continue playing. This person can be made to sit and then the others can continue playing to decide the second winner and the third winner. Or you could even play till everyone has got all 6 crossed out. Isn't it going to be fun? We could have done it in school, but as you know, because of the situation all around, we are not going to school, so we can't play it in school, but anyone can play it with their friends, relatives, grandparents, parents. And if you want later on, instead of adjectives, you could take any other kind of words, or you could even take numbers and have fun. It's an indoor activity, and when you can't go out, it is going to be real fun. Now the second activity, which is given on page 67 in our book, is compare places. Now on page 67, you have got 2 pictures. Please look at those pictures carefully. You can see that the first picture has a sea and a beach and some mountains and clouds, etc. But primarily it has sea and beach. Then in the second picture, you have a dry place with just a dry tree standing and sand all around. Now what you have to do here, they say with your partner, compare and contrast the 2 pictures given below. If you can get a partner at home, a brother, sister, parents, then very good. But if you can't find someone who is free, then you can do it all alone. You have to compare and contrast the 2 pictures which are given on page 67. Choose one picture and let your partner choose the other. Now, if you have someone else with you, a partner, then you can choose either the first one or the second one and let the other person choose first, and then you can take the other one. But if you don't have a partner, you can just write about both the pictures yourself. What you are supposed to do is talk about the similarities and differences in geographical features, what you see, the physical features or the geographical features, then kinds of animals that would be living there. You know, if it is a sea, it will have special kind of animals and marine life there. And if you have a desert, what kind of animals you would have. Then the climate of both these places. You could compare, means what is similar, and contrast, write the differences as well. And the ambience. The ambience means the character and atmosphere of the place, whether it is going to be hot, cold, humid, whatever you feel it is going to be. So it is related to somewhat the things you are going to write in climate. Now, if you are going to do it alone, you can't talk, so you can just sit quietly and in your mind think about all these, that is similarities and differences in geographical features. Then think about the kind of animals that would be living in both these places, the climate and the atmosphere of these places. But if you are doing it with a partner, you can talk and compare and contrast the similarities and differences, and then write all these points down in a rough notebook, and you could then compare how you have written. As I told you in English, it is not only important what you write, but how you write something. Everyone knows there's a sea, there's a beach, but someone may write in a very interesting way. The other person may not write it so well. So in English, we must try to write in correct sentences. Sentences should be grammatically correct, and you should be able to compare and contrast using the facts which you already know. If you don't know some facts, you can try to find out before you start writing. Thank you, children. Till we meet next time with another interesting lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.